Hello everyone, my name is Braden Chase and welcome to English Hackers. I am really excited to talk to you guys tonight about fluent and fluency and to speak fluently, right? This word that we use a lot. We always want to be fluent in English, but what does that mean is kind of the question. What does it mean to be fluent? And we all have an idea in our head. Oh, it means to speak English fluently, to speak it really well. And in the base, right, of fluent has the root words of flow, right? Like flowing like a river, flowing like water, something like that. That's the idea of fluent. Things are connected as you speak. Your pronunciation connects. Your grammar makes sense. Stuff like that. That is the basic idea of fluent. As an English professional, we don't use the word fluent very much because it's so generic and general. It's so difficult to define and understand. So we actually use a completely different system. We don't use the word fluent at all. We use the word proficient. And proficient is something you can measure in levels. So you'll often hear people talk about, oh, I'm a beginning speaker, or I'm an intermediate, or an advanced. So in our system that we use at English Hackers, we have novice, which is the beginner level, intermediate, advanced, superior, and above that, distinguished, right? So there's lots of levels in here. And inside each one of those levels are more levels. But why? Why do we have all of these levels? The idea and the reason is because we are able to define and identify what each one of those means. So let me give you an example, right? So if someone says, what is your name? That's a novice level piece of language. But if someone says, tell me about your day, and then you respond and give a description about your day and the things that you did, that's intermediate level language. If someone says, tell me a story about how you, first learned how to ride a bike, okay? That is an advanced level story about the past. You're conjugating verbs, there's prepositions and people interacting and the movements that you're doing, right? It's a much more complicated task to do. If somebody asks about, the education in Nigeria has had some real problems in recent history, and some people are discussing whether or not education should be used for learning more things or education should be used for just getting a better job, right? So discuss that. Tell me what you think about that. Give me some opinions. What's your idea, right? See that kind of a question, how complicated that question is? That's a superior level question, right? Superior level answer. And you can tell as you move through those levels that what's your name is really simple. What's going on in your day is a little bit harder. Tell me a story about your past is a little bit harder. And discuss the ramifications of educational decisions throughout a country is pretty complex, right? It's a very advanced, very superior level thing to deal with. So that's cool, Braden, right? Look at that, all these fun things. Why, right? So when I first started teaching Portuguese, and then I started teaching English after that. I remember looking at a bunch of different books and all these different things, and everyone kept using these words, advanced, intermediate, beginner, all of these words, but they all used them differently. And it was really frustrating. I'm like, so what does it mean to be an advanced? What does it mean to be fluent? What does this even mean? I don't understand. And I finally just came to the conclusion that there is no standard, and people just kind of say what they feel like it. If it's hard for them, it must be an advanced thing. If it's easy, it's probably, a beginner level thing, right? That was the extent of my understanding of these principles. But I remember to this day walking into the room. It was a small room, but there's probably 30 people in the room. So it was packed, tons of people there. Got a chalkboard up on the side. There's two women up at the front, and they're the ones giving the training. They've got some tables. They've got these stacks of papers to hand out. And everybody's there on their desks, and we're ready to listen. And I walk in, and I'm like, meh. This is another training about being advanced when no one really knows what advanced is. But during this training, my entire perspective changed. I listened to these two women explain what is proficiency, what is advanced, what is intermediate and superior and novice and all of these things. And not just, oh, it's what feels hard, like specific, detailed, identifiable, repeatable, replicable definitions that you can put to an English speaker, to a native speaker, right? I can produce novice level speech as a native speaker, and I can also produce advanced level speech as a native speaker and whatever, right? It is just a different system in how to look at things, and it changed how I teach. It changed how I evaluate my students, how I give tests, how I build everything. And as I've delved more deeply into this, as I've gone and studied more and more, I've learned that these principles are behind the TOEFL test, the TOEIC tests, the IELTS tests, and all of these things have these ideas of proficiency. So when they say this is, a superior level topic, it means something, and it means something specific. They're asking for you to do something really, really specific there. And if you don't do it, then you miss the question and you lose the points. I remember the first time I took an oral proficiency interview while I was for Portuguese, right? Because I speak Portuguese. And I remember I was listening, we were talking with a lady, having this nice conversation about, travel and school and friends, and it was fun. And then all of a sudden she switched and went into this really kind of formal, kind of stilted conversation. She asked me this really strange question, and I'm like, that was weird. Why did she do that? It kind of sounds like she's mad at me. Did I offend her in some way? So I kept trying to be playful and to be kind and to simplify the conversation. Then the interview ended and I left. I'm like, wow, that was really weird. What was going on there? And 2 weeks later is when I had this training where the ladies explained, this is what's going on, and this is what's going on, and this is what's going on. And yes, Braden, you failed that because we were asking you a superior level question, but you performed at an advanced level. You gave us an advanced level speech at superior level, and that was wrong. And I was like, oh, well, what should I have done? And they're like, do this and this and this. I'm like, oh, I can do that, but I didn't know that I was supposed to. See that? How important that is? I mean, native speaker, right? Messing stuff up because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So we teach these things inside of English Speaking Secrets and inside of English Hackers. How do you hack English? This is one of the major keys for that. Focusing specifically on points that you can achieve, okay? So that's one of the things I want to talk about. Being fluent is a great goal, but it's often too vague and too difficult. So we use a much more specific tool that helps you really identify the point you're trying to reach. So if you need to be an advanced level speaker, I know exactly how to get you there. If you need to be an intermediate level speaker, you just need to do something that's simple, travel, whatever, that's here. I know exactly how to get you there. You need to be a superior level speaker. You're going to go, have a speech at the UN or whatever. I know exactly how to get you there. Okay? It's not just, oh, be fluent and everything will be fine, right? There's techniques, there's steps, there's pieces, and we specialize in this stuff. It's really fun. It's fun for me anyway. It'll be great fun for you guys too as you guys watch yourselves improve and take these steps that you can actually identify. You have become awesome and it'll be great, okay? Anyway, that's my story for you guys tonight. I hope that was useful for you guys, and I will talk to you another day.